Oh my God, we are powerful women having a powerful conversation today. This is the second video with Susanna Amara, and I must say, we've been talking about some amazing stuff that we want to bring in forward for you all to really contemplate on and to be open to receive. Are you ready for this? Da, 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 da. Suzanne, how are you doing with all in your glory? I look so plain over here. I have to put my necklace on. How are you doing there in Thailand? How are things?
I am doing great, actually. I'm just over 50 days now on my green juice journey. I think I shared a bit before
Yes, you
about
did.
it, and yeah, I'm feeling strong. Made some breakthroughs in my exercise and stamina. I've broken through a kind of barrier in my weight and hydration, which it was like, when you've got a barrier and you just want to go through it. I really went through it, and I'm like, yes. I feel
Yeah,
like, yeah, I feel like I'm really getting into it now and really understanding like the healing process that's going on in my body and about what happens as the tissue is releasing the energy, like what's
brilliant.
actually that it doesn't just change. So yeah, I'm feeling amazing.
The
Yeah, it's really surprising actually sitting here. I keep having to feel my body because it's a lot smaller than it was. And yeah, what the journey that I'm on, effectively, obviously there's going to be physical appearance changes, and it's nice, but the motivation behind this was a spiritual
mm,
download or a knowingness within my inner being in my relationship with God source that I needed to release the fat and get strong in my body to basically shift the entire basis or foundation of my physical being to a state of self-love because I wasn't in a state of self-love
mm,
in embodiment that I needed to be at so that I can embody more frequency.
yeah,
And it came in with so much force of love and knowingness that that was the springboard for me to want to make the change, and then everything else fell in place. So where I am now is I started in April and it's now mid-June, so I'm approaching 2 months in. I am astounded, and I just find it hard to find words sometimes at the depth of this journey, both dark and light, and the
yeah.
release that is coming as the tissue or the cellular mass that has been on my body is used, is burned through exercise and burned through the good nutrition and the healings occurring in my microbiome. The things that come through, or the visions and the knowledge of what I accumulated over 55 years, that has been.
I am so privileged to have Suzanne on our channel today. So please stay with this conversation. There may be little triggers along the way. Just be open to see that these are our perspectives of reality. It's so astounding that we are moving into holding more light. And this ultimately is what this conversation's all about. I love everything that you're about and what you're saying, and the difference in your glow of energy. And for those that are following my journey and in understanding energy, is that it is all energy, because the physical body is a physical format, a construct of energy. So from that deep cellular structure, with whatever you put in here is going to be what is the cell made up of, as well as the DNA structure or whatever, the ancestral inherited physical body traits of emotional states, and then the download and the data and the processes and the programming that comes in to hold that light is so important, to get that body attuned into the frequency to hold it at a deep cellular structure, because there's the transformation.
Yeah, you can't meditate it. You
No.
can't read a book. You can't watch a video. It's down to us making physical action and taking appropriate action, and
Yeah.
then dealing with the consequences of our uh, immersion in the food matrix, or the deadlight death program, which is what we're taking on, because we don't really see what we're eating, and we don't really see the entanglement that we're entangling with when we consume those substances, which is the very dark side of this reality, unfortunately, was what
Yeah.
we've come to experience and overcome and reconnect with love, or love that we are. Then we accumulate that. We accumulate the entanglement, we accumulate the stress of the things that we're eating, and also any trauma that we're carrying, because the reason we're doing this is, the things in our mind maybe aren't ours. The thoughts that we have, the drivers come from the parasites and different energies that come in. And the emotional eating that we have, it's very normalized to fill space, socialize, all those things. It accumulates, and it's physical, it's metaphysical as well,
Yeah.
but it clogs the light body from receiving the divine signal. Really lovely, but the field is leveling up now,
Yeah.
and the plasma fields are here for us, and that connects us with all living sentient animals and beings, and we're here as custodians of Earth. And this is a choice for us now, and we are not going to be able to hold this frequency, just like you shared. It can come in, but the problem is, if you've got too much fat, it's an insulator and it can't distribute properly. And then if you've got karmic resonance of all this death light, like
Yeah.
distorted frequencies, then it's like trying to put something very pure in a murky water.
Yeah.
It can't, we can't really receive it. And I don't know what I'm going to be like in 6 months or in a year. I've only got this small beginning window to share. And even just in this short window, there's been so much compassion towards what we're in life.
Mm. My sister messaged
Um,
me actually, so if she's watching this, hello Joanne, beautiful soul she is. And she's had her health issues along the way, and without me even having conversations, she's shifting what it is that she's eating. She has an awareness that's coming from inside of herself that's just this like, no, I don't need to do this. I actually start eating after 11 o'clock now, and I'm doing this, Nicola, and I'm doing that, Nicola, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And without any sense of research, she's beautifully transitioning through that journey, and now she's having less symptoms from her physical body, which is astounding. So it's coming out there, it's getting out into the collective now, which is great. But some people need direction within this, and this is why this beautiful conversation coming in is going to assist those that maybe are open through Suzanne's journey to actually say, well, no, actually, Suzanne can do it, Nicola's sister can do it, Nicola can do it, so can I do it.
yeah, and just get, also it's not just about shifting what you're eating. For me, it was two things.
Okay.
It was movement and exercise, self-care. So these processes and the food as well. And not just the food, you said it already, it's about so much more than just in, like down the hatch. So what we drink and eat, it's about what we put on our skin,
Yeah.
and just realizing that the matrix world is literally set up to make you sick, and the bodies work so hard to try and stay healthy. As soon as you ease off the gas and stop toxifying repeatedly, it will heal and self-correct itself with very little effort, really, other than you following good direction
Yeah.
and staying with, just being with your feelings, being with the compulsions. I get loads.
Yeah.
Just recognizing that the thought that you have in your head might not be your own thought. It's really big. So
Mm,
just, I love what you show about it. I think it's a revolution that's going on in the field, and it's just beginning. Really, we're in the early stages of this plasma upgrade,
yeah,
but it's going to unveil effectively, take the lid off everything, belief, religion, that everything will be seen, it will be shocking. It's not about aliens in the sky, it's about our own conduct and our participation. So some of the changes can be hard because we're so conditioned and we normalize things. We tell ourselves stories about it, don't we?
yeah,
Like what things are, because we've dissociated from what we're actually consuming. So that's something that I think is really important, is that level of dissociation and how we label it. And then that enables us to self-harm because we've got a story about it.
yeah.
But actually, like a good parent has to say the truth sometimes, we might need to talk about that. And it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. It's that deep realization of when, but I think the key thing is also for people to actually sort of consider within this journey is that if you do have something that's not what you're aiming to do, don't worry about it. Give yourself permission not to go into guilt or to shame. And sometimes it's coming in and out of the journey that allows you to really create almost like a leveling up stage. So at the very beginning, it may be, not having fizzy pop drinks, and then you're then moving into something different because the taste buds start to shift and change. Years ago, I just didn't like watermelon. I was like, what is this? Because my palate was so aligned to sugary junk that then now that I'm sort of moving the body through that journey of like coconut water, like nobody's business, watermelon now tastes like, why did I not see you, watermelon? It's like, you are so beautiful. You hydrate me by just literally just consume, and thank you because it's a fruit that I don't kill the plant. It's a fruit, it's an offering, it's a gift. And my whole understanding of working with fruit, seeds, nuts, all of that sort of, it's like it's nothing is taking. Nothing's taking with that energy. It's just like, the plant gives and I receive and I give and I tend and there's this and there's that and it's this beautiful ooh, energy that comes in, isn't it?
It's the best, I think it's the best solution that we've got right now. I mean, I'm very realistic about it. I mean, I have got Garden of Eden visualizations, I know where we come from, and it's lovely like that. The reality is the environment is the best presentation we've got in the environment is something that's not denatured. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you say, it's just as much from the tree or from the plant as possible. Now, modern agriculture isn't ideal, and we can't escape that, but we can do our best. And I think that is when we add our love to what we eat, when we bring our light and we appreciate that that is God energy and it has had the sun and the water, then something happens. You remember Masaru Emoto and the like resonance and cymatics is when we give the things our love and frequency, it changes instantaneously. So when you've got a plant or a fruit, it has the most potential to convert back to its natural state, even if it's had been sprayed or it's not had like the tip top bio energetic organic source, because most people can't afford that. We just got to be realistic. I'm realist with people trying to help them. So I think it's the best solution. And as soon as we heat something and cook it,
mean, obviously you've got Ayurveda and lots of things. I'm not disputing any of that,
Mm.
that it's open for everybody to explore. But my personal feeling is when it's not cooked and it's in its natural state, your body, after a while, so when you start, your body is like an engine that's switched off,
Sure.
it's clogged. You said you've got no taste, like you've not got any smell really. You think you have, but you haven't, and you can't really feel what you're eating. So it's hard at first. So before I started doing this juice, I was 2 years transitioning as well. So I was already starting to change a lot of things. I didn't just go from a standing start. So if you're very clogged and then you suddenly just start eating watermelon, this is going to be very hard on your body.
Yeah, agreed.
There is stages to go through. Now I missed that completely. I kept trying to transition, like, and just kept failing, kept falling on my face,
Yeah.
and I didn't appreciate. I didn't have enough humility, and that's what it's taught me. It's a healing journey, and if you are gentle with your body, and you have to put some pressure to exercise, but you also need to acknowledge you're going to be healing, and it's medicine. What you're eating is medicine to the soul. So it's something to explore, to add in, maybe add in more raw to increase that, like get off the cooked and then to come off the different things, like especially oils, fried things, any kind of sugars that are on your own natural. I don't have any sugars other than from fruit.
Mm.
And anything you add in, like sauces, like all these things, like with powders, like I can't believe I used to do it all paste. I was a fully paid up member of the supermarket. And slowly, the biome adapts, it regrows and replenishes, and then you're going to be slowly transitioning. So the green juice in my journey, the green juice is still the beginning of the medicine. So I'm in the flushing out stage still. So the gut can die off and then start to regrow something that's healthy. And it takes months. It's
Can I ask
not
a
a
couple of
fine day.
questions? Can I ask a couple of questions about oils? So if I was going to use an oil, I use avocado oil. How do you feel about avocado oil compared, rapeseed oil and all of that stuff, and cooking with olive oil and stuff is just like that's my perception, and whoever does, so we're not judging anybody through this journey, but an alternative that I was being guided to, if I was going to do anything with frying something, would be the avocado. What's your thought on avocado rather than a seed oil?
A good
What's
question. I haven't got any nutritional knowledge to answer that question.
Yeah,
My gut feeling, like, is that any form of frying is denaturing the food, and
infrastructure.
that you can,
Yeah.
if you really, really want to make something like that, you can use an air fryer.
But then even with an air fryer, then there are some sort of there are
People
people
do it. I've never
like
used one.
microwaves and stuff like that. It's all again deconstructing what
I
it
would
is
never
that we're
use
actually.
one.
Mm,
Like, it's completely toxic. And
yeah.
also, I think, I mean, when I was transitioning before all of this, when I was just coming off meat and I was eating more vegetables, I used to still spray my food. And I had a little sprayer, had an aerosol sprayer.
Mm,
I would use olive oil. Now, I wouldn't, I mean, now I would be hypocritical if I was like recommending that.
yeah.
But the seed oils, if you're going to cut back, the seed oils are the worst
Mm, 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 mm,
oils. So
mm,
it's just like, look at where the oils are coming from, look at the process that they're going through, and then ask yourself, is that what
mm.
I want to put in my body?
Yeah.
So, it's something that's natural. If you really want to do that, then go for something that's more natural. And I just don't know about avocado oil,
Mm,
so I can't
mm.
answer. But
Yeah. Okay.
avocados
Thank you.
are fat. they're fat, and they're good for you as a good fat, a good healthy fat, but
But whether
you
that, yeah.
have allergens if you're going to start like eating these things and like not mixing it with other things, because then it doesn't really absorb as well. So there is some food science, and slowly, very slowly, I'm learning more about that. I'm very interested in that, but I don't feel confident
To give it
talk
an answer. But this is the thing, isn't it? Is that when we're sort of sitting in our homes and then we're sort of like, well, what we're going to have for dinner then? It's funny because we have all of these celebrations like Christmas. It's a Sunday roast. It's a Friday night fish and chips, and we associate so many things with what we've been brought up with. Like a Saturday morning fry up, and we are so associated with time and the experience. And summertime, then you might have salad, and but wintertime we have a stew. And it's like to convert the mind into actually taking action because you feel really drawn to do it will it's a mind control that's been set in as well within our system, is that gradual tiny little footsteps with the questioning and conversations like this will then guide you into, do you know what, actually I really don't like fruit, I want to eat meat, or I want to eat that and I want to do that. So we're not judging anybody for whatever it is that you are consuming, but we're just giving our own perception of reality for an option if you feel drawn to do so. So we just want to sort of just state that, and we're not sort of medical this or medical that. We're talking about personal experiences here. So I just wanted to just sort of get that straight for people. And please comment below to let us know as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, no.
There's lots of things that drive us along the way, and it's interesting. So as things die off, I love what you shared because it's part of what I'm working on at the moment. I'm working on deprogramming from those things, and particularly as someone living in England whose life was completely centered around food and feeders and diet clubs and everything, the whole thing. I was a complete feeder, like Mrs. Barbecue, Mrs. like dinner party, like roast dinner on a Sunday. God, I was well into it all. Takeaway, like I have lived it. I have been dependent on alcohol. I really understand the system of addiction in that way. And it's not an easy topic because we associate it with our families, with our friends, with our restaurants, with gatherings, with comfort, with romance. Think of all the romance. I mean, I've got a long list. But what I'm doing is I'm going through all of the different foods, the traditional foods, and this is very much just centered around what I'm aware of, but I will be able to eventually do it for anything. I'm looking at the codes. I'm looking at the construct of like, what is this thing? I'm just going to mention one thing: steak and kidney pie. It's a British tradition that I was raised with, or a roast dinner, and say, well, look, what's actually on the plate?
Yeah.
What's actually in that thing? And the coding of what that is. And then bringing in or dropping in the neutralization code for those programs, because they actually are in our fields and they act as they're destabilizers for when you want to make those changes. And I'm noticing it. It's just the way I am. I notice these things. So I'm interested in, as someone who's done change work. And I remember even going to see, gosh, this was years ago, almost 20 years ago, I went to see Paul McKenna when I was just with NLP. And he did a reset program for me with chocolate. And I never went back to eating chocolate in the same way. But the programs or the things that we have are so deeply embedded into our culture, our referencing. That this is not, it's not an easy decision. You live in a cold country. The thought of eating salad all the time. If I lived in England, when I first used, so I've done this before, when I first used, it was like through the winter and into the spring and into the summer. And, my body was craving hot food, soup,
Yeah.
all of those things, comfort food. And there I was with my juice, and it was really hard. It wasn't an easy thing, but it showed me that you can heal and change. And it's just about what's important. And you've got to find your own way. So if you are, what I was going to share is about the meat thing. The meat program is the hardest program. It's the most dissociated program, and it's the biggest sell to us as it's an industry, and it's sold to us to addict us, to make us sick, and to keep us in that sludge cycle. You can feel really healthy on a fully carnivorous diet, but you're wrecking your kidneys. The long-term effect is cumulative, and the energetic load is limited. I'm just going to say it's a wall limiting. It will limit us. And I'd recommend, if anybody feels brave enough watching this, go watch Conspiracy. It will reveal a lot. And it's hard, but it's a good thing to see what we're in. If we're talking about Christ consciousness and Christ, go and see the real thing, like see it for what it is, and look at what we're actually doing, rather than it just being something in a packet, or a label. This is all the program. It's nobody's fault. I don't have that in my heart. Like, there's no hate in my heart at all. I'm here to support love and for all beings and all animals, but we're just so dissociated from the process. Even good ethical farming creates and causes harm and pain to the animals. And we don't notice it and see it. And it's hard hitting, because I want the egg and I want the cream and I want it all, because this is the truth of the addiction. And it's hard. It's hard.
And it's interesting because we wouldn't necessarily, not many people would actually see food as an addiction. You think smoking addiction, you think alcohol addiction, you think drugs addiction, but there is food as an addiction. And I remember when I sort of transitioned from eating meat was years ago with watching the film. Do you remember the film Babe? The little piggy, the little pig, and the sheep and things like that. And as a result of that, I was like, oh my God, I can't eat pork anymore. I like bacon. And I loved a bacon sandwich, and I really sort of, and a ham sandwich, and but then there was also, after that came into my awareness, was the actual slaughterhouses. And so, if for those of you at Screamers, I'm not going to obviously go into the detail of that, but it's like, how many people that eat meat would actually go and kill the animal and then consume the animal and then cook the animal and then eat it? It's just like you said, it's just presented as a steak on your plate, and there's no understanding of the trauma that goes on with, especially, some of the the containments that they're in, and it's just like and that and all of that affected me deeply, deeply, deeply. And then I went on to just white meat, and then I went on just to fish, and then I went then into vegetarian, and then I was really wanting to do raw vegan. That's a journey that I'm still on, so I'm not in the space that you're on, but it's like the whole dynamics of the energy. And the thing is, Suzanne, is that if all of these people that we can point fingers at about the suppression of humanity and everything that the darkness holds within humanity, if we don't like that happening to us, why are we doing it to these beautiful beings that we are here to be looking after, to be nurturing, to be with? Why, why are we pointing at humanity for doing all of this ill intent if we're doing the same to our beautiful soul brothers and sisters that are in a different form? That's my depths of me being very open and bare here, is that why would I do to them that I would do to them? Because without that system breaking down, that in humanity is not going to change.
Absolutely. You've nailed it. That's why it's there. That's why we've got child trafficking. That's why we've got,
Yeah.
unfortunate, the different things that we see. It's because we're trafficking the animals and we're
Yes.
taking away their young and we're branding them, we're cutting off their beaks, we're doing horrendous things to them before they're even, barely moving. And I don't want to distress people too much, but it's a very traumatic
Yeah.
experience for the creatures. And, my consciousness can talk to animals. So this was one of the big motivating things that's developing more and more for me as I feel more and more connected to these collectives of animals, and they can communicate with us and they do have
Massive.
emotion and they're extremely intelligent. And I'll tell you why we can do it, because of compartmentalization in the brain. It's a brain function that we can dissociate and compartmentalize and
Mm.
get on. That's how other human atrocities work.
Yeah.
And how, it's how we can self-contradict ourselves. It's just part of like transparency of waking up, is you realize that you lie to yourself and your identity lies to you, and that the programs have conditioned us to lie and to objectify. So we see a sweet little sausage, but we don't realize there's 20 different pigs in there, and they might never have seen outside of a crate, and all the different things. And
Mm.
it's just holding such a big, dark, unspoken
Mm.
underbelly of trauma that goes on every day. I don't want to get the figure wrong, but there is a lot. It's something like 4 million, maybe it's 4 billion. There's just so many animals. It's ridiculous. And the truth is as well, like you're talking about transition, I did the same,
Mm.
actually. I stopped eating the red meat,
Mm.
and then I just had chicken. I don't know why we do this, but this was my journey.
Yeah.
And then I went to fish, and then eventually I gave up the dairy. I
Mm.
got the dairy industry eventually.
Mm.
And when I realized, I think the biggest impact was how I had objectified things. Your brain just does it automatically. There's this just ready meal, or there's this salami, or there's this ham, or it's made it all nice. Now, if you transpose that to the rest of the things that are going on in the world right now, we're all very nice about it, aren't we?
Yeah.
But those things are siphonous and parasitic, and they are a reversal of what we actually are.
Yeah.
And this is the time for us. This is it. And
It
it's not a
is.
comfortable journey. So I feel that's why we're both here,
Mm.
is
Mm.
to bring it with some compassion and love and understanding of the transitional journey. So I'm not going to stand here and be militant, but there's just so much harm going on in the ocean.
Mm.
The degree of degradation that's occurring to get a fish on a plate, and the ancillary deaths that occur just to have one animal there is
Yes.
huge. The
Yeah.
factory farming is polluting the environment and putting so many drugs into the water systems that we drink water from.
Yeah.
We
So it's like
need
this
aware of the
self-perpetuating
cycle.
machine, isn't it? This self-perpetuating organism that we're saying, well, the water should be cleaner, that this should be clean. Yeah, well, what is the root cause is consumption. and what we've been programmed into in saying that, well, this is this, this, and this, and this. And it's like, so if we want to see a change, we've got to be the change.
That's it. And it's also the chemicals. So I didn't just want to talk about, it's not just about, say, like meat, fish, dairy, like those are industries. But the biggest growing industry, the most addictive industry is chemical food and substitutes. So I'd love to talk a little bit or just touch on, I've got lots of resources I can share with viewers. If you do want to take the journey of awakening, there is a list of films that you can watch. There are things that you can do to decondition yourself from these programs and see what's really happening. And it's hard, but it will heal. It will heal because you're opening your heart. You're going to open your compassion and realize that a cat and a cow and a mouse and a worm and a microbe and a spider in a tree are all part of our beautiful hedonic ecosystem, and we're so very much part of that love. But the chemical industry, the substitute of the vegan industry, where we want to replace that feeling or sensation of the thing that we're doing with the meat, is deliberately and systemically designed to poison you and put things in your body which are not going to help you. So it's the waking up is so much more than just those things. It's really hard when you see how they make things. You can go and watch on YouTube. It's all there. You can go and watch.
It's all hidden in plain sight.
Factory chemicals, preservatives, flavorings, stabilizers, coloring. This is all the supermarkets are wall-to-wall purveyors of this crap. And that's what's really harming people. That, all the other things is it's a big heart thing. Will change the whole landscape of the world when we make this transition. Things will recover. It will be an amazing change for the whole of our creation. All those other things will not be able to hold in the frequency of the love. But the chemicals is a big thing because it's delivered so it's just a sweet, it's just a drink. The drinks market is massive, the non-alcoholic drinks market, and sugar and substitutions in these foods. It's not just
the obvious thing is like if you take things down to basics, it's like having if you think of salt from the ocean, and then you've got the processed salt, you've got sugarcane sugar, and then you've got sweeteners. You've got vegan, like absolute beautiful, organic, grown food that we can be so just chop it up in different ways and processes it in different ways, to get to that beautiful, organic, absolute. And then you've got the industry of the alternative vegan, which you so beautifully put together in that explanation. And for people to have an awareness is that you might be transitioning over, and I've actually done it. I've absolutely done it, and from time to time I still do it. But it doesn't mean to say that I don't have an awareness of it. Once you have an awareness of it, then you make a choice. You make a choice. And it's got to be right for you in this moment, for your body. And there's no judgment with any of this conversation about anybody's choices. It's just us speaking as two different people here, just saying, okay, we have a conscious choice on how we consume and add to the pot of darkness upon this planet, whether we choose the light and focus on the light, which all these beautiful offerings that are coming in to assist our body, because that's what the universe wants for us. It's the body is to hold the light and to transform this reality. I keep harping on about that. That's obviously just dropping in all the time.
Like the whales, there's so many. There's so much here for us that we don't see, because the thing about all food and stuff is it clogs us up. We think our third eye is open. So I actually did a diagram the other day. I think I did a live actually about it, about how the signaling. So if we're receiving, it's a good question. So say I'm a spiritual healer or I'm a worker, like we all do it because they've got good hearts. Like you've got a good heart, you want to help, you've got something moving you. But when we receive signals, then if we've got the system is clogged with all these things, because that's what we've been taught, and that's what we're habituated to, and the parasites on our gut are telling us to go and eat the hamburger or the cheeseburger and get it done, and it's going to feel so good because the parasites are getting fed.
Yeah.
And it's not just physical parasites, I'm talking about energetic parasites as well.
Yes, it's massive. It is massive.
So when we receive the information, we're a conduit receiving signals. And if that antenna is not clean, then that's how we end up getting all these wonky signals. It's not because you're a bad person. It's just because of the conditioning of what we have been immersed in. And this is so important to say, like, we're not going to fix it overnight, but if this motivates you, you want to be a really great healer, you want to have more beautiful signals and deeper connection with source, then source is definitely going to be reached by having a cleaner signal. And the cleaner the signal is, the lighter the body and the lighter the digestion. So if you've ever done a dry fast or a water fast, how crazily clean you get. And suddenly it's like you've gone on a medicine journey and you're just walking around. So we're going to learn to move that muscle more. We're going to see how, as you get clean, you thought you were clear and you thought you were into all this stuff. And then you realize that there's more.
Yeah.
And there's more. And there's more. And it's not about you being crap. And it's not about you. I just simply don't have that in my heart at all. I really feel that this is something that's here for all of us, but it's a journey that we're going to go through predominantly together, is to see the hypnosis that we've been in, get the shock. It is a shock. It's something that we have to have, some strength in our heart for to see it. But once we're through that, then it's like, what can I do? I want to show up more. I want to be healthy. I want to be vibrant. I don't want to end up in medication at 70 and curled up on the sofa. And it doesn't mean, it's still no guarantee that nothing, your body can still break down for many reasons. But it's giving you the best chance of having such a great relationship with the amazing energy that's there, and to connect with love and nature. And I was eating meat and still saying I love nature and I love animals and all of that, because that's just part of the program. It's why we walk around and we walk past homeless people, or we don't to see the difficult, challenging things which are going on in the world, because it's hard for us.
Definitely. Susan, thank you so much for this beautiful conversation. I think next time when we come in and have another conversation within this series, we'll talk more about body movement. I think we can get more into that, because this was sort of quite a deep conversation for many people, which probably might not got to the end if you hold a very deep programming within yourself. So just be open to the conversation. But I think next time we can go deeper into the body movement, the strength of the body, so that we can sort of take things in a different direction with the conversation, because it might be a bit hard for people to hear. But if you do feel it hard to hear and you do get emotionally triggered by this, good.
Yeah, I would have, honestly, Nicola, I would have been, maybe it's been a long time now, but in my before life, I would have been super triggered by this type of thing, or these conversations, or talking about the dark, or the idea that I've got attachments, or,
Parasites.
because say we're conditioned for failure, and we're conditioned to feel ashamed. And all of these things we carry so much within us. So it's okay if you are feeling like that. I mean, don't beat us, please don't beat yourself up. Please don't get in that state of mind, because it is an addiction. It is addictive, and it's part of our evolution. So I like to look to the positive, even though we've covered some heavy things.
Mm.
The positive benefits for us are exponential.
I mean, just
And
look at you as an example. You know, your physicality, you are moving beautifully, you're coding wonderfully, you're rising so wonderfully, you are shining and glowing, and what it is that you are is what you're putting in your body. You're just a living proof of actually that anybody can do this. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for showing up and being authentic in your journey. This needs to be shown, this needs to be spoken about. We need to look into our own shadows.
well, this is the first time I've ever been live, just so if anybody's watching this, this is the first time I've been live and I've ever been strong in my own conviction and what I believe in. I've pussyfooted around it all and stuff. So my heart is beating hard. I feel that energy. I feel supported, but it takes courage to come and talk like this
It
as
does.
well.
It does.
It's not done flippantly.
No, absolutely.
It's a real experience, and I feel very emotional saying that as well.
I see you.
Thank you for giving me a space, and thank
Oh,
you everybody that has watched
yeah.
us.
So
Is touched.
if anybody wants to then reach out to you to get some more information about all of this and, you know, your services, etc. So how can people get hold of you then, Susan?
Well, you can find me on Facebook under my name, which is on the screen. I also have a Telegram group, which is t.me/my group. I'm on Instagram at Amara_inspired. And my link tree, I've actually taken it down because I'm rewriting my services, but I will be getting those back online. And I'm going to start facilitating again soon. I'm holding space for like all the lovely things like breathwork and meditation and mentoring as well. So it's all here for you. I'm really happy to share that. Just message me. I'm very available.
Amazing. And the other thing is what we are creating is a collective healing mastery group, which Suzanne is actually part of. So that's coming out very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Please hit the notification bell as well. There are many people that aren't getting the content. So we want to reach you. We want to reach you to support you in the journey. I myself, nicolalight.com, have a little check out of energy work that I deal with. But it's not my mastery that I'm stepping into, like Suzanne is, within regards to the transitioning and moving through that experience. But Suzanne is an absolute beautiful soul, and her light codes are so pure. So also check out all of those on her website. So from me, Nicola Light, and Suzanne, thank you so much, so much, so much. And please put a thumbs up, all of that jazz, and we'll be with you very, very soon and talk about the physical body. See you all soon. Bye. Mm.
Because we maybe don't see it or notice it because it's so habituated, isn't it? Like in our lives,
No, definitely. It's
it's
sort of like
everywhere.
we're told, aren't we? If we sort of like look at the journey of the dark night of the soul, I wore an awful lot of black, and it absorbs the light in, you know, if you're wearing a lot of black, it's because you're in that space of the dark night of the soul, that you're in your emotion. It's a very reflective. And what does society say? Oh, black is, you know, black's the great color that anybody can wear. So we're indoctrinated wearing sunglasses, we're indoctrinated wearing sunscreen. We're indoctrinated wearing tight fitting clothes. We're indoctrinated this and that. And you eat 3 meals a day and then you can snack. And then you go into a supermarket and it's full of absolute there. I can't go into a supermarket now without actually looking at everything and thinking, oh my God, this is just ridiculous what's here.
Have you thought that the supermarkets might be like the equivalent of the drug pushers for an addict or a fix?
Yes.
for the industry,
It's all
and
from it's
that's
all for
it
the
is.
industry. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
all about the
it's hard
money.
to have these conversations. I know it's confronting, but it's the truth when you really start to have courage. It takes courage, doesn't it, to say these things and look at
Mhm.
these things. And it is uncomfortable, but when we can realise that the environment, it's not just that we've got chefs, cookbooks, celebrity culture, cooking shows. It's everywhere all the time. That the social habits we have, the traditions that we have, and it's ingrained in us since we're babies.
Yeah.
So you can't just undo that in 5 minutes.
Mm.
It's going to take some time and some compassion and some courage and truth. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here
Mm.
to exemplify it in my own practice. And